What's up, team? Coach Shawna here. Today we are going to talk about the jumping bar muscle up. Now, this is a very common scale to be given to athletes when they are learning how to do their bar muscle ups, and it is actually an awesome scale to use, but we want to make sure that we're doing it correctly because it's teaching you how to transition, which without that, we won't have that successful bar muscle up. So what I'm going to go over with you is how to set it up so that you are successful with them, and then those points of performance that we're looking for to make sure that you are gaining confidence and comfort with the most important parts of that transition, which is going to be that straight arm press down and that fast head over. These are also awesome to work on being able to string together your bar muscle ups because it builds time under tension, I can talk, for your grip. All right, so let's start with the setup. So what you're looking for is a surface that you can stand on where when you get set up, and move this over just a smidge, you are at about head height or a little bit, the bar's a little bit below head height. I would rather you start with an elevated surface that makes these super easy than have the bar super high and set you up to fail when you transition. Because what's going to happen is if it's too high, when you transition, you're going to try to climb the fence instead of kip, press, and pull over. So if you have to, get the box and then grab some plates and stack those plates so that they're very easy to start. And then as you get more comfortable with them, you can lower the height. Now, what we're doing is we're using our legs to assist rather than that kip, right, to get over the bar. After you figure out what height you should be at, and you'll play around with it some once you understand what we're doing, you're going to start with your feet past the rig, okay? We're not jumping into it as much as we're using our legs to still hit that hollow position and then press down, getting those hips to the bar, which it looks like this. So I'm going to come through into my arch, and as I come back into hollow, I'm going to use my legs to drive up, press down, straight arm, and transition over the bar, okay? And then you can dip out, or if you're doing them, just getting comfortable with the transition itself, you can not dip out and come back through. Again, it's very, very important that you start with your feet beyond because we're trying to replicate what that bar muscle up looks like when I kip into it, okay? So as you're practicing these, the things that I want you to be very, very mindful of are, again, it's one fluid motion and I'm pressing those arms down. So a lot of times we'll see athletes do this and then stop and then jump. And notice how my arms transitioned like this instead of trying to press down, press that bar into my hip and transition with as much of a straight arm as possible, given, of course, that my positions are going to be slightly different because I'm jumping into it instead of kipping into it. And if I want to connect them, I'm going to make sure as I get comfortable that my thumbs are wrapped around, and then as you gain confidence, you can do that suicide grip, which is named such for a reason, right? So I've got my thumbs wrapped around. I'm going to go into that arch, press down, dip, then I come out, hit that arch again, press down, and then dip and come down and repeat them for the prescribed amount of reps. The other thing you might notice as I'm doing these is I'm looking up. Looking up is a really, really beneficial cue as you practice your muscle ups, both your bar and your ring, and even your chest to bar, because looking up communicates that we're pulling higher. When I do my pull up, right, I'm just pulling my head over the bar. When I do my chest to bar, I'm pulling lower. When I do my muscle ups, I have to pull even lower. So looking up allows me to lean back, and it communicates to me that I want to go up and over the bar instead of stopping at the bar. Hopefully that makes sense. So to reiterate, you are going to find a platform that you can jump from. I want you starting higher rather than lower. Get comfortable with this. Even if they feel super, super easy to start, that's okay. Get comfortable with that straight arm press down, right? And that fast transition over. Then as you get more comfortable, you can drop it down. Make sure that it's one fluid motion from hitting that arch position, coming through under the bar and going up and over instead of stopping and then jumping. Okay, and then we're focusing on, we're really practicing that press down versus pulling. We're not pulling, we're pressing, and then we slightly pull at the end. But we let those legs and those hips get us as high as we can before we pull. Cool? All right, give these a try. Hit us up, comment below if you have any questions with this. Feel free to find us on all the social media platforms and tag us in your bar muscle up journey. And of course, if you are interested in getting better at your bar muscle ups or getting your first one, we do have an 8-week bar muscle up program. And if you're watching this video and you're part of our program or one of our CFT athletes already, comment in Circle app or Facebook and we will help you crush them. Thank you for watching and make sure you subscribe before you go.